Hello and welcome to Ryan Michael Yoga. Today we will be focusing on Warrior 1. I don't have a specific area of the body to focus on today. If you have a request, please put it in the comments or shoot me a message on my website. That's ryanmichaelyoga.org. Please subscribe, please like, and please share. So why don't we get started? We'll have a blanket, a block, and a strap. These three props, the best props to have for my class. We won't always use them because, as I've said in the past, I teach in the moment. I create these classes in the moment. I teach through intuition. I plan basically just with intention. So my intention today is Warrior 1. So let's come to a seat on the mat. Just take a moment while I get into the zone. Okay. Let's start in child's pose. Legs are together. Arms are out long. Forehead on the mat. Breathe deeply into the belly here. Feel as though a balloon is in the digestion, expanding on the inhale, inflating, and deflating on the exhale. Feel the inflating balloon press into the thighs and open up the low back. Feel the inflating balloon press into the hips and open up the joints, the hip joints. With your next inhale, come to your hands and knees. Moving into tiger stretch pose. Much like cat-cow, we'll be undulating the spine, but using a leg lifted and lowered. So with an inhale, straighten the right leg back, bend the knee, drop the belly, pull the heel towards the back of the head. Exhale, round the spine, drop the knee, pull the knee in towards the nose. Inhale, the knee out. Reach the heel towards the back of the head. Exhale, round the spine, knee towards nose. Inhale out. 3 more. Keeping the hips right next to one another. Last one. And returning that knee to the mat. Other side. Inhale, left leg straight back, bend the knee, heel towards the back of the head, dropping the belly. Exhale, round the spine, knee towards nose. Inhale, out. Exhale, in. 3 more. And returning to the mat. Now, normal cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round. 5 rounds total. And drop back into child's pose once more. Again, feeling the balloon in the belly inflating on the inhale, and deflating on the exhale. We're using this balloon, this imaginary balloon, to create space in the low back and the hips. As we need quite a bit of that to really get into Warrior One. Come up to the tips of the fingers, palms off the mat, and walk the hands off to the right, breathing into the left side of the trunk. Come back to center, and walk the hands to the left, breathing into the right side of the trunk. And back to center. Come forward onto the belly. Forehead on the mat, legs together, hands beside the lower ribs. Elbows hug in towards one another. With an inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades in and lift the heart. Exhale to lower. Keep the legs together. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. No use of the arms. The elbows are merely just hugging in towards one another. One more time. Okay, excellent. Now let's come up and take the left forearm parallel with the front of the mat. Bend the right knee and reach back to grab the foot. Using the hand, pull the right foot in, and then flex the right quadricep, the thigh muscle, keeping the knees relatively close, but they don't have to be touching. Kick the foot into the hand, pull the hand into the foot. Breathe into the belly. Feel the inflation of the balloon and the deflation. One more. And go ahead and release. We'll just switch right to the other side. Right forearm parallel with the front of the mat. Bend the left knee, grab the foot with the left hand. Pull the foot in, kick the foot out, and breathe into the belly. One more breath. And releasing. Great. Let's come to hands and knees on an inhale. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale to your hands and knees. Curl the toes. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale to the knees. Exhale to child's pose. Let's do 2 more like that. Down dog to child's pose. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Okay, once you've arrived, gaze forward, walk the feet to the hands. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Hands to the backs of the ankles. With an inhale, lift halfway, slide the hands up the backs of the legs to the sit bones, pull the shoulders back. And exhale to fold forward. Hold on while I fix my shirt. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Inhale all the way. Hands to heart center. Wonderful. Yes, before we get into the Warrior One part of the practice, we'll do a little dynamic triangle. If you've taken my classes before, you probably have done this, so you might know it. If you know it, just get right into it. If not, observe 1 round first. We'll do it with the hands on the hips. Let me slide my little mic thing back. Okay, with an inhale, tall spine. Exhale, turn the left foot out, slide the left hand down the leg, bend the knee. Hand to the ankle or foot. Inhale, slide the hand up. Straighten the knee, turn the foot in. Exhale, right foot out, bend the right knee, right hand down the leg. Inhale to center and up. Exhale, down the other side. Back and forth. Keep the eyes focused on a point. After this right side, we'll do it with a straight knee and the arms out. Like we're going into triangle each time. Exhaling to reach and come down. Exhaling to reach and come down. 1 more each side. Great. Let's take the hands to the hips and we'll come into a wide leg forward fold. So let's make the inside edges of the feet parallel. Feel them on the mat. The toes spread. The inside edges, outside edges gripping down. The arches lifted. Hands to the hips, inhale. And exhale, fold. Bringing the hands down to the mat. Line up the tips of the fingers with the tips of the toes. The hands are in line with the shoulders, the same width. With an inhale, press down through the palms. Lift the heart forward and up, going for a concave shape in the back. Spread the sit bones. Lift through the inside edges of the legs. Press the heels of the hands down. Shoulder blades into the back. Kidneys into the back. Spread the sit bones even more. With your next exhale, fold forward all the way. Reaching the top of the head to a point somewhere slightly ahead of you. Take the hands a little further back, bending the elbows. And breathe here. Hugging the elbows in towards one another so that the forearms are parallel. When you're ready, with an inhale, lift halfway, hands to the hips. Exhale here. Inhale all the way. Great. Jump the feet together. Top of the mat. Okay. Sun salutations. Sun salutations are a great way to loosen all of the body, but it's better to have them a little further into the class because they can be very extreme, and if you're not doing them with awareness, consciously, you're gonna have a bad time. So they say. So, let's take the hands to heart center, and before we begin, feel the weight of gravity pulling you down. As gravity pulls you down, there must be an equal and opposite reaction, eh? So feel the surging force of energy drawing you up. The action of the muscles pushing back. The action of you pushing back against gravity. With an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the feet back. Hold at plank for one breath. And with your exhale, lower, elbows by the sides, shoulders broad. Inhale, forward and up, upward facing dog. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Walk the feet to the hands with an inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way. Hands to heart center. And again, inhale, sweep out and up. Exhale, dive. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the feet back and lower, all in one breath. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, up and back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way. Hands to heart center. One more time. Great. Once you come back to the top of the mat, take the arms to the sides, the feet together. We're moving into Tadasana. Feel the toes spread, the heels reaching back. Soles of the feet are fully on the mat, the arches are lifted. The insides of the knees touch. Backs of the knees are open. The quads are compressed and lifting into the hips. The sacrum moves in. The coccyx moves in and up. Pubic bone moves back and up. The abdomen, skin of the abdomen and the abdominal organs moving up without tension. Diaphragm is open. Rib cage is open. Collarbones are broad. Sternum is lifted. Shoulders are down. Shoulder blades are in. Arms reach down and relax. The fingers of the left hand and the fingers of the right hand are equally relaxed and extended. Stretch the neck up from below the shoulder blades. Gaze softly ahead. Chin is level. Back of the head floating up. Skin of the forehead, scalp, and back of the head is spread. Root of the tongue is broad. Throat is soft. Feel how tall you stand, from the soles of the feet to the top of the head, extended. Feel the balloon in the belly expand on the inhale and deflate on the exhale. Now we'll move into Warrior One. So we'll do it dynamically first. Actually, we're not going to do it dynamically first. I take that back. So let's take the right foot back. Both knees straight for now. The back foot is turned to 45 degrees. The front foot is facing forward. Bring the hands to the hips. Roll the right hip forward. Press down into the outside edge of the back foot. Feel the inner right leg lifted. Bend deeply into the left knee. Notice that the knee is all the way over the ankle. From your perspective, it looks like it's almost over the toes. Roll the right hip forward. Press down into the outside edge of the back foot. Again, feel that inner lift of the right leg. With an inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Lift the lower belly. This is a slight back bend, so that lower belly lift helps protect the low back. Inner thighs move in towards one another. Keep the outside edge of the right foot pressing down. Keep the deep bend in the knee. Breathe here. So really the most important parts here are the hip, the foot, and the knee. All else is not important. If the knee is bent deeply enough, that'll make the legs work more. If the back foot is pressing down enough, that will keep you grounded. And if the right hip is rolling forward enough, that will keep the hips even. Even the belly lifted is not quite necessary because that happens subtly when we roll the right hip forward. Two more breaths. With an inhale, come to the top of the mat. Body returns to Tadasana. Close the eyes, relax the body, and bring your awareness deeper to any subtle sensations. The feeling of the muscles, the feeling of blood, the feeling of electrical impulses. The more that you relax, the more you can feel these subtle sensations. The more you'll feel the flow of energy in the body. All right, let's do the other side, shall we? Let's take the left foot back. Hands to the hips once again. Roll that left hip forward so the hips are facing forward. The back foot is at 45 degrees or 60 degrees. Pressing down to the outside edge of the back foot, lifting the inside edge of the back leg. With an exhale, deeply bend the right knee so the knee looks as though it's right over the toes or the center of the foot. But if you come forward and look down, then you see the knees right over the heel. That's what we want. With an inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Virabhadrasana 1. Keep the left hip rolling forward. The right knee bent deeply, and the outside edge of the left foot pressing down. Five more breaths. When you're ready, step to the front of the mat. Tadasana. Relax. Allow the breath to return to normal. Feel the heat radiating off the body. Feel how the breath flows in through the nostrils and into the belly, to cool the body. And how it flows out hot, releasing all the heat pent up within. Great, well done. Now let's come down to a seat. Here's where we'll start to use our props, okay? We're going to use a blanket to start, just to sit upon. This will help give a little bit more lift and have it more off to the left and take the right foot back. You may actually need to sit on your block for this part, but generally speaking, the blanket's enough. So the sit bones are on the edge of the blanket and over to the right a little so that the right, excuse me, I'm yawning a lot. So the right foot can be right up against the right hip. Grab your strap. And if you don't have a strap, that's fine. You can just grasp the foot or put the hands beside the leg. Put that strap on the bottom of the outstretched left foot. Knees together. With an inhale, press the belly forward. Pull the shoulders back. Spread the ball of the foot. Now see, doing this alone, I can already feel this in my hip. The left hip. Notice how the back of it's like, what's going on? What's going on? Keep that extension in the spine, and with an exhale, pull yourself in just a little bit. Don't lose the neutral spine though. Keep the extension in the front of the body. This means compressing the left quad a little bit to lift the heart away from the knee. Not backward, just up. If you want to go a little further, do so on an exhale. And if you feel you can grasp your foot, feel free. Breathing here. Keep the extension in the front of the body. The belly is open. With every exhale, go a little deeper. Actually, we're just going to take one more breath, okay? And then coming back up. This is not exactly one of the easiest forward folds, so we don't want to spend too much time in it. Let's take that right foot out and put the right thigh against the left. Inner thigh. I say the right thigh, the right sole of the foot against the left inner thigh. Now here, again, you can use your strap You might not need it as much. I'm not much of a strap user. So if you have your strap, pull the shoulders back, extend to the front of the body. Spread the ball of the foot. Notice again if you feel it in the hip or the back of the leg. Just look at the sensation. Feel it in the body and breathe deeply. And at any moment when you feel ready with an exhale, you can come a little further into the pose. Keep the extension in the front of the body, though. The more open you can keep your belly and your heart, the more beneficial this pose will be. The inside edge of the leg rolling down towards the mat to keep it grounded, keep you grounded. Three more breaths. When you're ready, coming back up. Great. We'll do one more with this leg forward. Pigeon. So I'd like you to get your blanket folded like so, because that's going to go underneath this forward hip. Back leg goes back. The hips are right next to one another. So this right hip has a tendency to open up back like this, and we don't want that. We want that forward so we get the full opening of the hip flexor. Notice if the right knee wants to be over to the right. We want to bring that in so that it's right behind the left hip. So we get a nice line. Same with the foot. You want that foot to be in line with the leg. All that adds up to create a better opening, a more aligned opening for this right hip. So now take the fingertips, press them down into the earth to lift yourself up, extending through the spine, each vertebrae lifting above the one below it. Feel how that opens the right hip flexor. Feel how that takes some of the weight off of the left hip. Feel how the front of the body is open, and with an exhale, fold forward. Breathing. Feel the opening in the left hip. We sure do a lot of feeling in this class. Feel your feels. And the hips are a very sensitive area that holds a lot of emotion. So if you notice certain thoughts arise that they weren't remotely going to arise before, any thoughts really that come up while we're opening our hips like this, just notice them and let them go. Say, oh, hello, thought. Okay, next. Moving on. Same with any emotions that you feel here. Now, if you're feeling the emotion of pain, which is more of a physical sensation than an emotion, but whatever, if you're feeling pain in the knee or the hip, then back out of this pose. This should feel good. Three more breaths. Okay, using the hands, come back up. Lift out of the pose and take the left leg back. And for just a moment, we'll sit on the heels. Just noticing how one hip feels versus the other. How one leg feels versus the other. You see, in Warrior 1, we focus very intensely on the lower half of the body. Warrior 2 as well. A lot of the standing poses are really focusing on the lower half of the body. More or less. I just wasn't giving you any cues for the upper half. Because the most important part of the standing poses is the foundation. So we're building this foundation. We're opening it and we're strengthening it. Most of us need more opening. We're so tight, so tense in our legs, our hips, our back. Then when we're doing the warrior pose, that's our strength. So we can get into these deep areas that we're going right now because we were doing that strength, that stabilizing. You need to stabilize before anything else. Okay, so let's move to the other side, shall we? Take your blanket, right leg forward, sitting towards the left edge of the blanket, both sit bones on the blanket. Meet your strap onto the bottom of the foot, the knees are together. Pull the shoulders back. Extend through the front of the body. Flex the right foot and spread the ball of the foot. With an exhale, come forward a little. Again, reestablish the shoulders back, the spine extended, front of the body open. And now when you're ready, as you like, as you feel okay with it, on your exhales you can go a little deeper, wherever you went on the other side, but take your time, ease into it with your breath. You want to keep that open front body, and that's easier to do when you ease into the pose with the breath. Every inhale, reestablishing that openness, and every exhale, going a little deeper. Two more. I think that was 3. Let's come back up. It's so funny trying to practice at the same time that I'm teaching you. I often lose track. Okay, let's take that left foot, bring the sole of the foot into the inner right thigh. You can use your strap on the bottom of the foot this time or grasp it. With an inhale, pull the shoulders back, open the front of the body. And exhale, fold in. Spread the ball of the foot. Roll the inside edge of the right leg down. Breathe. And again, just as we did before. On your inhales, reestablish the length in the front of the body. On your exhales, fold in. Three more breaths. When you're ready, returning up. Beautiful. Now, moving to pigeon. Get your blanket prepared, fold it up nicely. Sitting the right sit bone on the blanket, bending the right knee, taking the left leg behind you. Now again, left leg. The left knee is in line with the left hip. The left foot is reaching straight back, so we have a nice line. Now I didn't mention this on the other side and I apologize, but the front leg does not have to be parallel with the front of the mat. It can be at an angle like this, but if you have it at an angle, point the toes. If you have it perpendicular, if you have it straight, then flex the foot. Okay? Now let's take the fingertips, push down to lift up. Feel the left hip flexor opening. Feel the extension in the spine. Feel the openness of the front of the body. Take one more inhale. And exhale to fold forward. Now, as we did on the other side, just notice feelings arise, certain thoughts, and just let them be noticed and move along. No need to linger. No need to be taken by the story. One more breath. And come on back up. And lift yourself up, take that right leg back. And we'll sit once again back on the heels. Just noticing the two sides, sensations left and right. All right, let's take the legs forward and lay to the back. And hug the knees into the chest. Straighten the knees, feet right over the hips. Feel the weight of the legs pushing down into the sacrum. As you breathe, feel the balloon inflating in the digestion and deflating. With the arms at a T, straighten the knees and drop the legs to the right. Again, noticing that breath in the belly. The balloon inflates on the inhale, deflates on the exhale. This time, every exhale, the navel squeezes in towards the spine. One more breath. Come back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Straighten the knees. And with an exhale, drop them. Let's drop the legs to the left. Every inhale, feel the belly inflating. Every exhale, feel the navel squeezing down and in towards the back of the body. One more breath. Come on back to center. Hug the knees in, hands grasping the shins. With an inhale, knees away from the chest, pressing the tailbone down. Exhale, knees in, squeezing the navel towards the back of the body. Inhale out, press the tailbone into the ground. Exhale in. Continue with this action. Feel the balloon of the belly expand on the inhale. And feel it deflate, squeezing the navel back towards the earth. One more time. Okay, take the legs out long for Shavasana. Continue to focus on the belly. Feeling it expand in all directions on the inhale. And deflate towards the center on the exhale. Now, with the next inhale, I want you to feel the belly expand, but then feel the balloon expand up into the heart. So the belly to the chest, rib cage expands, and then release it all. So now from the throat to the pelvic floor, imagine a great big balloon. On the inhale, it inflates in all directions. And on the exhale, it deflates towards the center of the heart, right behind the breastbone. With every exhale, I'd like you to count towards 0. So 12 exhales for 12 steps in a 12-step count. Every exhale, the balloon deflates towards the heart, and the body grows more and more still, calm, relaxed. Shedding layers of tension. And begin to deepen the breath and bring movement back into the body. And when you're ready, roll to one side and come up to a seat. Now I'd like to do a little mantra for you. And I'd like you to join me in the ohms. So I'm going to do 3 ohms, 3 rounds of the Gayatri mantra, and then 3 ohms. Okay? So we'll take an inhale and begin. Om Bhurvavaha Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Naham Prachodayant. Om Bhurvavaha Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Naha Prachodayant. Om Bhurvavaha Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Naha Prachodayant. Shanti. Well, thank you for joining me today. It was a very nice class, very soothing towards the end and energizing towards the middle. If you have any requests, please let me know in the comments. It's so easy for you to just be like, shoulders, hips, warrior 2, warrior 3, whatever. Because what the hell is the point of me being a teacher if I'm not doing it somewhat for you? I mean, this is really for me. I'm getting a benefit out of it because I'm enhancing my teaching abilities. I'm learning new cues. I'm learning new transitions. I'm growing more comfortable with these poses, whatever. So, yeah. I'd like to do stuff for you, even though I'm really doing it for me. Nonetheless, hit me up in the comments. And thanks for watching. Namaste.